Welcome to Ask the Expert. I'm Greg Kirkham, and today I'm joined by Adam Weiss, managing partner of BlackBay, based in Lehi, Utah. Adam, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for having me. Look forward to a good, entertaining chat.
Hey, me too. Hey, so let's dive right in. We're First, how did you get started in the venture capital space?
Yeah, so I was a nationally ranked wrestler in high school. Broke my back. Was planning on being a chiropractor, and then all my scholarships got taken. So I wound up working in finance in Miami, and climbed the corporate ladder. By the time I was 25, I was the senior vice president for a big finance firm in Miami. Had over 100 loan brokers on my team, five, seven-figure earners. And then from there, I got into the startup space, started a recruiting company in Miami. That company did about $4.5 million the first year. And then, just kind of got addicted to the entrepreneurship life cycle, and co-founded a SaaS company, co-founded a lending company, and then just got really integrated into startups. And, by kind of the natural process of entrepreneurship, you start looking at real estate for tax purposes. So bought an apartment complex, and then realized I had a knack for raising money, and I really liked the fund space, and I loved startups. So I started looking at private equity and venture, trying to decide which route to go. And I found some very big fundamental flaws in the traditional venture space. And so I spent about a year and a half just researching, learning everything I could, and then put a fund thesis together, put a board together, and realized that there's a big gap that nobody talks about in that sector, that I figured we had the perfect experience and perfect team to be able to plug those holes and do it the right way. And so yeah, so we launched this year, and have some really good companies we're investing into right now, and it's getting very exciting.
Yeah, you're well known in the venture capital space. I know we've crossed paths a couple times just in different groups that I'm a part of as well. So,
Yeah.
what is one of the biggest misconceptions founders have when approaching venture capital?
Good question. So probably the biggest misconception is they think they're actually getting founders that can bring actual advice. So most VCs are lifelong investors. The fundamental thesis for venture capital is, typically one person who does well in business, and then they go, have a big exit. They bring a bunch of money into a VC fund, and every person that they hire after that graduated from Harvard or Yale or Columbia or some Ivy League school. They get an internship. They start, as an analyst, and work their way up the ladder. And so, if you go look at your average venture fund, 95% of them have never owned anything. They've never been a founder. They've never started a business. They've never been in the same position as the people they're trying to invest into. So there's a big fundamental gap that they don't understand. And the sad part and the scary part is that those people are the ones dictating where investor money goes. And there's no wonder that, 9 out of 10 of their investments fail, and they're banking on one big one to bring the majority of revenue into the fund and to create the returns for investors. And so most founders don't understand that. They think when a VC is coming in, they're getting money, and they're getting, a point of contact. They're getting, a strategic partner that can help them with things. But the reality is most VCs can't help with it. They've never done it. And that's kind of where we decided to flip that script. We don't only bring money, we bring advice, and we bring, 100+ years of business experience between our partners and our board. And so we kind of created a whole different model. But even our lowest guy on the totem pole, our associate, he's 24 years old. He just had his first exit about 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
And worked for two VC funds in college, started a franchise, and sold that franchise about 3 weeks ago. So that's kind of our fund thesis. And that's one thing that founders just don't understand, is that they think they're getting, somebody that can really help them grow too. But the reality is that most of the time they're just getting money, and that money doesn't really come with a whole lot more outside of that, except pressure and expectations.
Yeah, that's definitely something I noticed with a lot of private equity is, I call it the black bag. They just keep
Yeah,
putting money into the
good name
bag
for it.
until they find that diamond that actually goes big and then pays back the
Yep.
investors. So That's one thing that you
Yep.
guys are doing very, very well is you're really changing a lot of the game here in Utah. Well, Adam, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your insights with us today. To learn more about Adam Weiss
Yeah.
and BlackBay, visit asktheexperttv.com.